Hi, thank you for joining my focus group, and I'm going to be asking you questions to do with music magazine covers and what you like about them. So the first magazine is an indie magazine, which is NME, and I want you to tell me what attracts you to this music magazine.
I think the most attractive thing about it is the red on the title and the little plus there, because the rest is all in black and white, so that the red really pops out.
It makes it look really bold, and also the angle of gaze, so it's the fact that it's like the artist is looking at you. It sort of, if you were looking down on the shelf, it would pull you in.
Camilla?
Yeah, same as the other two, with the NME bit being in red, because I feel like because it's the name of the magazine, it really stands out at you, so you can really see what it is, and you're like, oh yeah, it's that magazine I like, and it attracts you to buy it.
So, looking at this magazine, what do you think could be improved?
I think it could. I mean, I don't know, because I like the layout of it. I like the amount of text that's on there because it like has a nice shape and stuff. But I would say that you need to include more things that would be in there. Because at the moment, if I saw that on the shelf, I wouldn't think, oh, like I wouldn't pick it up just because I think that there wouldn't really. It doesn't say that there's anything else in there that's going to attract me to it. So I probably wouldn't pick it up for that reason.
Okay, so looking at that magazine, what would you say, if you was to pick it up in a store, what would influence you to buy it? Like, would it be the image, the text, what's in it, the colours?
I think probably the image, because like Holly said with the eyes, it looks like he's like looking at you and he wants you to buy it.
It's got like a good colour scheme as well, because it keeps it very basic. It uses the white and blacks, which you have one of, but then it just has the red as well. And like we said earlier, it's not too crowded on there as well, so it's not really trying to fit loads and loads of stuff in there. It's just, it's nice and spaced out.
And basic.
Yeah, it's very simple, but it's effective.
Okay, so the second magazine is also an indie magazine by NME, and looking at this magazine, what works well and what do you think doesn't work so well? What would you change about it as well?
I think again the colour scheme works quite well, because you've got the main image in black and white again, and you're only using two other colours, which is the red and the yellow, so, and they're bold colours, so they stand out to you, but it's not the fact that there are loads of colours being used. They're keeping it again nice and simple, which is effective.
And I think what's better about this one, what I like about this one as opposed to the other one, is that it actually includes more stuff that is in the magazine. So like, I personally don't really listen to Jake Bugg, but I'm a really big Nirvana fan. So if I were to look at that, I'd think, oh, Jake Bugg's in it. But there's like Nirvana unseen pictures, so that is an incentive for me to buy it because there's something else that I like in there.
Camilla? Charlotte?
There's well, I actually like Jake Bugg as well as Nirvana, so that's like adding to it, so I would find more to read in the magazine.
It's got a nice layout as well, like it's not too crowded and there's not much covering stuff.
I think I prefer this layout to the one before, because on the other one everything was sort of pushed over onto this side, whereas on this one you've got bits up there and then down and then in the middle and then more to the other side, so everything's spaced out, so it's not all cluttered, so you don't need to focus on one bit. You can actually look at the whole magazine and see what other things interest you.
So if you was to walk into a store and you wanted to buy an indie magazine, would you pick this one up? And if not, why? And if so, why?
I think I would pick this one up because, again, with like the angle of gaze, it's like they're looking at you. It's got a good amount of colour schemes. It includes other stuff that's in the magazine. You know, it's just, it's like it's a professional magazine. It looks like a professional magazine cover. It's good. I would pick that one up.
I'd pick it up because I think the tagline underneath the title is quite interesting. It says it's an enemy of the X Factor, so that's kind of
that's interesting.
I wonder why. I want to read about that and see what exactly that is.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, so on the third magazine, it's also an indie magazine. So what by looking at this magazine, what attracts you to it?
This one's got like a good colour scheme going. I think I just need to check it out. It's got 4 main colours, which would be the black, the white, the red, and the yellow, and they're all colours that sort of fit well together. And then it's like, it obviously includes the other artists that are in there, so if you don't necessarily like the Arctic Monkeys, you can listen to, like, not listen, you can see that there's other people in there that you could listen to. I keep saying listen, sorry. Yeah, it's got other things in there that you would like.
So, what attracts you to buy this magazine?
Well, it's got more on it than the other two have. Like, it's got 4 other things down the side of what else is featured in it. For example, it's got the Panic at the Disco album, which would probably attract me to buy it because I'm a massive Panic at the Disco fan.
Personally, I'm not as attracted to this magazine because there's a lot of text down the side and it's like a bit too much, like, oh, I don't really want to read that much.
I like
want
the
to see
text.
more pictures.
I like the text on the side. I think it's a nice space filler, and it's useful if you don't want to necessarily like pick up the magazine to see like what else is in it. You can just glance at the cover and like just quickly scan the titles, and you can say, oh, Rolling Stones, Panic at the Disco. You know, those are people that I don't mind. I'm gonna like pick it up and have another look.
So, what do you think should be improved on this magazine?
I think more pictures.
Yeah, I
More
agree.
more
I think
pictures.
there's a lacking in pictures on here. Just like the one main image, like I think it would be better even if they had something like across the bottom or on the top,
Yeah,
maybe, or
I think
something
there's
like
a bit
that.
too much writing
Yeah,
on
it's
it. It's
too
a bit
much
cluttered.
text. Yeah.
Especially here on their
Yeah.
chests, it's like building up and it's
Mm.
like just like above their heads and it's kind of off-putting.
Mm.
So, apart from more images and less text, would you change anything else, like, or do you think the colours work well together? And
I think
I think the colours work
the colours work really well. I think. Like I don't necessarily think I would change very much more about it. I just think it does need a bit less text and a few more pictures because, like Charlotte said, some people don't like having to read all the stuff down the side. They like just being able to look at it and go, oh, that's who's in it because I can see their picture on there.
So, if you was to walk into a store, would you pick up this magazine?
I think I would, just
Mhm.
because like the music magazine I normally buy tends to be quite cluttered up with like text and pictures and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a layout that I know quite well. And I like the fact that it's sort of included like a variety of artists as well down the side. So it's like if you know you don't necessarily have to be a Panic at the Disco fan to get this magazine because it has other people in it that you might like. I would pick this up. I think I like the colour scheme and layout and stuff.
I don't think I would pick it up. It's a bit too wordy. Like there's a lot going on, and lots of different fonts everywhere. So it's like, I don't want to buy that. Don't want to look at that. I'm gonna go buy
I'm
one of
sort
those
of in the
pictures.
middle. There are some bits that would make me want to buy it, but then I agree with Charlotte that there's too much writing, so I don't know if I would buy it because of that.
Okay. So, looking at all 3 magazine covers together, what would you say would be your most favourite one, and why?
That one.
The Jake Bugg one.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Do you guys want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the reason we all picked up on was the amount of colour that it uses, and I think that really stands out in it.
And the fact that the writing's not cluttered
Yeah.
and you've got more pictures included on it.
There's like a nice balance between the amount of
Writing and
text and the amount of
pictures.
pictures that they've put on there as well.
Like in this one, because the writing is so small, you can't really read it properly. But this one is spaced out, so you can actually read it and see what the magazine's about and see if you actually want to buy it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
No
for
problem.
thank you for
You're
taking
welcome.
part in my focus group.
It's fine.